Hello, lovelies. Welcome back. It's Marla at Twinstrology. Thank you so much for joining me. And it feels like I've been away forever. It feels like I haven't been in front of the camera for a really long time. And although it's easier for me not to be in front of the camera, to be honest, I don't feel like I connect with you as much, even though I'm not seeing you on the other end. But I'm happy to be here with you, and I hope that I start getting back to my old routine a little bit. But it's been a crazy summer of major transformation for me, and I'm sure it has been for you as well. I want to give a shout out to everyone that came to our workshop in Banff 2 weeks ago. It was absolutely fantastic. Amazing people, and we had some repeats from Chicago and from Boston. It was great to see them. Great to meet some new people. And Banff and Alberta were just absolutely amazing, and I know that I'm going to be going back there again. And I look forward to some future workshops. Definitely going to be doing a couple in 2019. So look out for them. The full moon is October 24th. And this month I've decided to write the full moon report instead of record a video on it. So if you'd like to read that report, which is called 0 Point Reset, you can find that on my website, which is Twinstrology. You can also find it at marlakelly.com. It's on my Facebook page at Twinstrology, and there's a link on my Instagram, which is marlakelly13. But a major shift going on with this Taurus full moon, which is conjunct Venus, conjunct Uranus, and squaring the nodes. And this energy is clearing away a lot of the dross that's been, buried and repressed in Scorpio, so that we can get to the 0 point field, which is it's source creative energy. It's where everything is open to us, every possibility is open to us, and we get to the 0 point, we're able to rapidly manifest things. That's why it's really important for us to be cleared of our patterns and our templates and our programs, to be very heart-centered, and to be, trying to think of the word, because I'm looking at this card that I'm going to be talking about in a minute. I guess be very free of limitations, because we are aligning more and more with the energy of manifestation. And pretty soon that energy is going to be turned on, and things are going to be manifesting rapidly. I know many of you are seeing it, but these things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's important that we create things that are not only pure for us, but pure for the collective as well. That's why we need to get to this unity consciousness, because we don't want to be creating more division and more pain in the world. We want to be healing the world. So please check out that article. And if you've been feeling triggered, I think the article will help you a lot, because triggers are seriously happening right now from so many directions. So I'm going to do things a little bit different today. I'm not going to break out the masculine and feminine energies. I'm going to just talk about the union energies. Got some Palo Santo here, and I'm just going to clear the energies. And while I do this, just take a moment to set your intentions about what you need to know about your union, whether that's your inner union or your external union. If you need confirmations, or you need some guidance, or you're waiting for some kind of synchronicity. Okay, so I've drawn some Psychic Tarot of the Heart cards for our union energies, and I've also drawn some Romance Angels cards. So I'm going to be talking about those together. The overall energy of our union is memories of love. This card actually came up in the reading I did with Debbie Dubois last week for the Divine Masculine. And the Memories of Love card here is about us opening our hearts, focusing on the love. What gets us to open our hearts? It's remembering the love that you had with your sacred partner. That is what encourages us to grow, if we can put it that way. It's actually a little bit more than encouragement, right? We really don't have a choice in most cases. But it's that memory, that desire to have that love in our lives again that keeps us going. That what I'm seeing in my mind is like a soldier walking through a battlefield. And sometimes being on this journey can feel like that. Like we're a little bit walking through landmines and we don't know where that next trigger is going to come. And we make light of it, but those triggers can be really painful. But that memory, that love, is what gets us through. Sometimes maybe we don't want to. You know, how many times have you wanted to forget the memory of that love, to turn it off, to just move on from it? But you can't. As Debbie said the other day, it's impossible to purge the memory of that love out. That memory is there to stay. This card is about getting back to simple times. Simplicity. The simplest thing in the world, in the universe, is love. It's what everything is made out of. If we can just get back to love, that's going to change the world. And it's really that simple. There's some nostalgia happening. Of course, Venus is retrograde. And what happens when Venus is retrograde? Especially in Scorpio, we get very nostalgic. We think about the past. And I think for a lot of you, maybe some of your partners that maybe have been resistant to this connection, I think many of them are looking back with a little bit of regret. And maybe wondering about their behavior and maybe wishing they had done things differently. Now, from our end, we have to forgive them because they weren't aware of everything. And, you know, they were still acting from their fears and their patterns. And of course, even, you know, we've all done things on this journey that we probably wish we would have done differently. And maybe thinking about that, feeling nostalgic, or wishing that we could change that. Receiving love, giving and receiving love. And another message that I'm getting is like both twins being open to receiving love. And both twins, you know, still have walls up. We still are overcoming our obstacles to love, but it's that memory of love, as I said, that's keeping us going, that's healing us. And that's true that love is ultimately, while it may cause us to start the journey to go on the triggers, it's ultimately what heals us as well. And will heal us and will bring us into union. So clearing the things that we need, the blocks, the walls to love. The Romance Angel card here for the overall energy of union is heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And we can see how these two cards go together. It's that love that's pushing us to be authentic, to be in our truth, to have that heart-to-heart conversation. I know many people that were at the workshop, they went back home and several of them reached out to have that heart-to-heart with their twin. But both parties have to be willing and open to that. And so this is what we're working on, is getting each other into that alignment to be able to have that talk, to let the walls down and the guard even a little bit for some honesty and some truth. But again, it's that memory of love that's pushing us for the conversation. You can't, as I said, you can't get that memory out. And for those that have been in resistance, that are, I said, looking back with nostalgia, I think a lot of them are wanting to talk, to have that reconnection. But how are they going to get there? Because, as I said, there's still some obstacles to be overcome. These cards, like the union cards, they tell us a story about what's going on. And these energies of union represent our higher selves and what's going on in the higher dimensions and what is coming in now and grounding. So the things that we're working on and healing are the things that are opening us up to this energy. So, and this Venus retrograde is really big for this right now. Big for us remembering the love, and big for desiring that reconnection if you're not connected currently with your twin. Even if you are, though, you may need to have a deeper conversation. What's positive in twin flame unions is third eye chakra. Well, man, have third eyes been opening. Since May, when we had that Antares Aldebaran gateway triggered by the Sagittarius full moon, and when we were talking about the high priestess energy, third eye expansion has been huge over the summer. Psychic abilities opening, changing perspectives, seeing the programs, seeing the projections, seeing the illusions that are going on all around us. People are waking up. The shift is happening. And so with this expanded awareness, this is positively shifting twin flame unions, because number one, we're seeing the projections, as I said. So we're seeing the mirror. When your twin comes along and triggers you, you see the mirror reflection. You see your projection. If you're willing to open to it. And when you see the projection, you have to kind of let it go. I mean, yeah, your ego's going to resist. Your ego's going to want to stay in that, defensive state. But when your third eye is open, it's like you have to see it. You have to deal with it. And we're just getting new perspectives. And those twins, again, that maybe were resistant to union or to the idea of any kind of relationships, they're awakening to the truth of the relationship. And they're going to have to face it and deal with it sooner or later. Because as we said, it's not going away. You don't purge it out. The Romance Angel card here is flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And I think, with our third eyes awakening, seeing the bigger picture, having this higher consciousness, we are more lighthearted. We are more joyful. We are surrendered and more playful. That just allows our energy to be, as I said, more playful, more childlike, wanting to have more fun, wanting to connect, just wanting to reconnect with each other in a fun way. What is challenging twin flame unions right now is the Sacrifice card. And this card also came up in the reading I did with Debbie, this time for the Awakening Feminine. And when I look at kind of what's going on with all the cards here, like this Sacrifice card is about changing our perceptions, changing our perspective about things. Normally this is the Hanged Man card, and the Hanged Man is shown upside down because he needs to change his view of the world. And for sacred unions, we're changing our view of the world. We are opening our consciousness. Now, when that happens, when our consciousness expands, kind of see all this mud, all this yuck, whether it's from what's within us, the things that we've been repressing, such as Venus and Scorpio. All the Scorpio energy is where we repress things, and we have to deal with that stuff because of our expanded awareness, or we see it in the world around us, and we start seeing the truth about what's going on, the illusions that we've all been living under. And that's a little bit of a sacrifice, but it's opening us to clarity, to truth, to our higher selves. It's literally changing our physical body and making our bodies lighter and less dense. There's a stillness with this card as well. Now, we talked at the beginning about the 0 point field. And until we get to the 0 point field and really start manifesting, we can feel like we're in a void, like nothing's happening. There's just a stillness. And it seems like we're just going around in circle. Nothing's developing. We haven't really been able to move forward on a lot of things. That's part of the sacrifice that we're making at this time. Things will come, but we have to find our patience. Separation from our twins is another way we're sacrificing right now. For right now, there's a need for most twins to be in separation. That is changing. We're seeing it more and more, lifting and changing. But the truth is, we work harder and faster when we're in separation. Not only is it, that memory of love, the desire to be with that person that gets us to really move forward on things. But, sorry, I gotta do something with my computer. But, I mean, think about it. Like, you're each doing something different. It's like 2 heads are better than 1 is what I'm getting. It's like you're doing double work right now. It's like 1 soul can do double work when it's split. And that's a sacrifice. But there's so much positive energy that's going to come from the sacrifice we make now. It's like, take this time now, be in separation, do the clearing, heal what you have to heal, and get ready because this bright new day is dawning. The Romance Angels card for what's challenging unions is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. So what this card is telling us is that there's a challenge to unions because there's too many limitations. Some of you are dealing with limitations because your expectations aren't being met. And it could be because your twin doesn't meet your expectation as far as what you thought your soulmate was going to be. Maybe they're don't look like you expected, or maybe they're older, or maybe they're younger, or maybe they're a different race. Maybe they're the same sex as you, which, you know, that that's not uncommon for gender issues to come up. So there's lots of ways that we can have expectations, but when you meet your twin and you get that memory of love that you've shared with them in the past life, those limitations, as much as you try in your ego to stick with those limitations, it can't work. They have to be let go of. And the more our consciousness is expanding, the more we see the truth, and the more we have to let go of those expectations. So while this card is saying we have these limitations that's challenging us, the cards say that they're clearing. Because the way these cards work is they work cohesively, right? It's like the memory of love is helping us expand our consciousness so we can let go of limitations, so we can get back to that love. And obviously, these cards are, showing us, change your perspective, see your limitation, break free of the limitation. And that's what the fixed cross energy of Venus, Uranus, and the nodes are shifting us with. So what are we not seeing about our unions at this time? The first card is divine timing. Okay, well, I think we all are familiar with divine timing. We know things happen in divine timing. But I feel like the message from our guides here is, yes, we are awakening rapidly, but we still are not able to see the full picture of divine timing from our perspective yet. We're getting closer. We're releasing a lot, surrendering a lot to get to that acceptance of divine timing. But they're still saying, trust us. We know when divine timing is right. But I feel like that time, is approaching rapidly. And so we can be happy to see this card. Transformation. This is another thing we can't see. Can't see how rapidly everybody is transforming. After Venus goes direct, Mercury goes retrograde. But the next 3 months, and the previous 3 months, and the next 3 months, incredible transformations are occurring. Things are happening so fast that everything has not caught up to us. So we're going to need time to integrate everything. So that's what we're not seeing. From our perspective, and I love that there's like a little Taurus symbol on the card. From our perspective, it might seem like nothing's changing. We feel like that hangman just stuck there in limbo. But behind the scenes, like in our vortex, in the higher dimensions, there's a massive transformation going on that's slowly being filtered down to us through our upper chakras. I also got sexual energy. And this one I feel is about balancing our masculine and feminine within. Which, we've been talking about it a while, but we haven't really seen what that is going to really feel like and do yet. It's expanding rapidly. And what I'm feeling is like we're all going to be really surprised one day when we wake up and realize that everything's changed. So, as I said, like these cards really represent what's happening above. But these cards, I asked, what is changing right now in our reality? Like, what can we see here in this dimension? The first card is movement. So we are going to feel some forward movement happening. Things will start shifting, and some of the things that we've been trying to manifest will start coming through. Again, things are coming through. Maybe not the major things, but I know like I'll think about something and within hours I'll get the answer. Just something silly I was thinking about yesterday. I was thinking about when I used to do that meditation, Satanama, and I couldn't remember, how to shift for the mudras. And within hours, like a post came through Instagram or something about how to do the mudras with that meditation. So it's like that quickly, like you think about something, think about a question, and you get an answer. Or you think about a song, and an hour later that song plays on the radio. These are little ways that we're manifesting. And this is expanding, expanding, expanding. So we are seeing movement on that. Rescue. We're getting help. We are getting support. We're connecting more with soul family all the time. And we're getting support from them. But we're also getting support from the universe. And what I'm feeling with this card is a little bit like divine intervention. And we're going to begin to see miracles in our life, or begin to really see how the universe is supporting us and has our back and helping us. That's going to become clearer and clearer, of course, as our third eye chakra opens. And then we have this card, flying. And this card has a lot to do about ascension, but also about our changing perspective. And when we see things from the big picture, we can let go of so much. We don't have to be stuck in the worries. We get lighter. Gosh, I'm not sure if I said this or not. It's been really hard to ground lately, and maybe some of you are experiencing this, so I'll just mention it. Like when I'm having a big clearing like this, or I'm getting upgrades, it can be very hard to ground. And so I've just, for the time being, I've just given up. I can't meditate. I can't ground. So if you're struggling with that, then just surrender to it. It's kind of like we get disconnected, get upgraded, and then get reconnected again. So we'll be back to normal in a few days. So anyways, I can't remember if I said this, so I'll say it again in case I didn't. What I'm getting with these cards here too about union is there can be these past life memories coming up. And I feel like, especially for the twins, that we're in a little bit of resistance to the connection. There's a deepening understanding, possibly some memories or flashbacks coming up, because as our consciousness expands and we release those limitations, those memories are able to surface. We don't have to repress them anymore. And just an understanding of what the connection is becoming much clearer for both twins, both partners. And that remembrance, that understanding of the connection is bringing us right back to our hearts and the memories of what we shared previously. Okay, so lastly, we've got some cards from the Goddess deck with some messages for us. The first one is Nematona, Sacred Space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Well, with this card, what I'm getting is that it's really important that we take time for ourselves, that we have that sacred space. And, especially if you're dealing with a lot of triggers, you may want to just avoid people for a while or avoid situations and go get some sacred space for yourself. Nurturing yourself is very important, and taking that time away, if you can meditate, or just spend some time in prayer even, or connect with, however you see source. Bridget, don't back down. And her message is stand up for what you believe is right. Well, I love this card because she's got this flame here right at her heart. Devotion. Devotion is what comes to mind when I see this card. Don't give up. We are devoted to our ascension and to the mission that we're here to fulfill, and to our unions as well. There's a need right now, I think, for some people to find their spiritual strength and dig deep if you're dealing with a lot of triggers and other issues too. Last card is Guinevere, True Love. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to bring great love to you. Kind of go together, don't they? The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to bring great love to you. Those memories are what is on the leading edge of your ability to manifest and your ability to change and to ascend. It's all about the love that we feel in our hearts. And that is just being so activated right now with this Venus retrograde energy. Getting back to true love. That is what is truth. And I think that's a good place to end. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope this reading helped you. And I'm going to try and come back and do a couple more readings, actually. Maybe some pick a message type readings. So I'm sending you my love. My website is Twinstrology. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.